if you've ever wondered why my handle is Learn with Jess, but there's a specific reason why I chose that. When I started making content in 2020, I started with teaching skits. The goal of teaching skits was to show the public of how teachers can be treated at times and how we can have better communication between parents and teachers. I had a teaching skit go viral to the point my husband had to monitor the comments because people were being really nasty, and he was either approving or declining the comments, and then he would just show me the comments that he was approving. I was very new to content creation. I don't have a huge background in creating content and putting it online, so seeing that amount of negative comments really affected me. Fast forward, I kept making teaching skits, but I made one specific skit that had to do with a parent and a teacher having some conflict. The goal of this skit was to show that when a situation happens with a student, please reach out to the teacher and discuss what actually happened, because a lot of times there's more than one side of the story. As well as teachers, when I have 32 kids in my classroom, I can't read their mind. If they don't feel good, if they have to use the bathroom, they need to ask me. I can't physically go to every student and say, do you need to use the bathroom? Are you feeling okay? And this was something I'd have to express to parents, even as being a fifth grade teacher. I am one, if you have to go to the bathroom, go to the bathroom. I just ask that you did not ask during a lesson. If it was an emergency, just get up and go. I had students who would just get up and go. That's fine. We're human. We have to use the bathroom. I would never hold that against a student. Anyways, the skit was where a student told their parent a different story, and when they called the teacher and the teacher was trying to explain it, there was a lot of blame on the teacher. As a teacher, I am open to discussing solutions, looking at ideas, because I do care about my students. I want this to be a healthy environment. If we know anything about how a student learns, they have to feel safe first. After I release this skit, I get a message from a parent explaining that their child has a disability and they feel that I am making fun of that child's disability. Nowhere in the skit ever did I mention the students having a disability, because that wasn't what the skit was about. Nowhere would I ever make fun of a child like that. That's completely unethical as a person. There's no morale if you're going that deep. And so I rewatched the skit and I thought, I just not seeing what she's saying. So I sent the skit to some family members and had them watch it. And without giving any context, I said, is there anything that is like upsetting in this? And they're like, no, it's just a little skit. And my husband rewatched it. And then I went on making teacher skits, but that message from that parent always stuck with me. Eventually, I get to a point in my skits where I realize that I don't want to just do teaching skits anymore, and if I do, I want to try to keep them to finding a solution with the parent and the principal, and then also maybe shifting it where I just specifically talk about the issues within education where we have our administration and teachers and no longer focusing on parents and teachers. I also want to say, if you have any type of experience in content creation, it doesn't matter what video you put out there, there's going to be negative comments, whether it be about your hair, your body, how you talk, it doesn't matter. However, I don't want to be known as that person who brings a negative light to teachers or education. I no longer make teaching skits at all. If I ever did, it would be with Miss Rainbow, who is a character, and I'm going to try to always keep them very light and positive. I remember I made a Christmas skit about a teacher and a parent working together trying to find a solution for their child who couldn't do a gift exchange, and I still got negative comments. And I thought, at this point, it doesn't matter what I do, it's going to be negative. Once I switched my content to no longer be teaching skits and more of a drama skit, I realized that it's better for me, for my mental health. I also realized that people are just going to see it, most people are just going to see it as a skit, and not that I'm trying to at all in any way belittle anybody. That is where my handle came from, Learn with Jess, is because I originally started with teaching skits. Now I don't do those anymore, but I still want to show a certain aspect that through time and self-awareness, everyone can change. If you watched my character Veronica from the beginning, she really changed my character Katrina, and that's really all most of the theme is about, is learning life experiences and changing through those. And maybe we don't always make the right choice right away, but eventually we learn and we get to where we need to be. So that was just my little spiel. Again, I never want to be known as like a negative channel. I really want to bring more positive skits moving forward, because that I think is more influential, even if I don't get as many views. But really, that's where I see myself headed.